My dear friend, please, in this very moment, I want you to stop exactly what you are doing. Just pause, set everything aside for these next few moments, because what I am about to share with you is something profound, something that has been quietly understood and utilized by those who move in spheres of great abundance for a very long time. This is not common knowledge, it is a principle, a spiritual key that operates on a level most of us were never taught to perceive. I need you to understand. This is not about chance or random luck. It is about aligning with a fundamental law. To show you what I mean, let me tell you about Mark, a man from Arizona. Just 3 days ago, he was in a place of deep fear and anxiety. He was down to his last $12, and the crushing weight of a potential car repossession was looming over him. His situation felt hopeless, a dead end. In that state of desperation, he listened to the very secret I am preparing to unfold for you. He engaged with it for barely 2 minutes, a simple, focused act of faith and reception. What happened next defied his every expectation. Yesterday he called me and he was in tears. But these were not tears of sorrow, they were tears of absolute stunned shock. Without any logical explanation, without applying for a new loan or receiving a notice from some unknown relative, an amount of $9,400 landed directly in his bank account. It simply appeared. This event, my friend, was not luck. It was not a fortunate coincidence in a random universe. It was the direct and responsive result of engaging with a specific spiritual truth. If you choose to scroll away now, if you let skepticism or distraction pull you from this moment, you may very well be turning your back on the single most transformative truth that could alter the entire trajectory of your life. I am not saying this for dramatic effect. I am telling you this with complete seriousness. People everywhere are beginning to call this the financial reset prayer, and it is spreading for one singular powerful reason. It produces tangible results. It actually works. Now, I can almost hear the thought forming in your mind. I understand it completely. Here we go again. Another online message promising riches. Another so-called secret that feels too good to be true. Another potential get-rich-quick scheme. I get that hesitation. I honor it. But I am asking you, just for now, to quiet that voice of doubt and simply hear me out. My journey into this understanding did not begin yesterday. I have dedicated over 15 years of my life to a deep and sincere study of how energy, faith, and manifestation truly operate in our world. This has been my pursuit. And in that time, I have witnessed something extraordinary again and again. I have watched individuals, people just like you and me, see their financial circumstances transform at a speed that conventional logic cannot explain. Their bank account balances shifted not through years of slow toil, but through a swift and decisive realignment of spiritual principles. I want you to think about this carefully right now. As you listen to me, you are surrounded by invisible forces. Consider the battery in your phone, holding a charge you cannot see, but that you absolutely rely on. Think of the Wi-Fi signals filling this space, carrying information through the air, invisible yet undeniably real. Remember radio waves traveling silently, bringing music and news into your car. You cannot see any of these forces with your physical eyes, but you never doubt their reality because you experience their effects every single day. Money, my friend, operates on this exact same principle. It is energy. It is a current of value and resource. And like all energy, it flows. It moves toward those who welcome it. And it remains with those who appreciate it, who hold it in the right consciousness. Your presence here right now is not an accident of the algorithm. You are here because a part of you is ready. You are here because your spirit is seeking a change. And that seeking has drawn you to this moment. This is precisely how the universe, how divine order functions. There is a synchronicity at work. Before we go any deeper into this truth, I want you to participate in a simple but profoundly important act. I want you to hit the like button on this video. Now, I am asking you to do this not because I am concerned with numbers or metrics. That is not my heart in this. I am asking you to do this because faith requires a corresponding action. Taking a physical step, however small, is a powerful way of signaling to your own soul and to the universe that you are serious. It is your way of declaring, I am present. I am ready. I am locking this intention into my reality. Furthermore, I want you to go down to the comment section below and simply type these words, I claim my miracle today. This is not a trivial exercise. The act of writing, of physically typing out that declaration, moves the desire from the realm of vague hope into the realm of tangible commitment. You are making a stand. You are stating your claim. This is the beginning of the shift. Let me now share with you the core secret, the truth that conventional education and most worldly systems never explain to us. Money is not merely paper currency or digits on a screen. Those are simply its physical forms, its containers. At its essence, money is solidified energy. It carries a specific vibrational frequency. Every single dollar, every unit of currency resonates with this energy. And here is the critical understanding. Your own internal state, your dominant thoughts and emotions are also broadcasting a vibrational frequency. When you are steeped in anxiety over bills, when you are gripped by the desperation of lack, you are emitting a powerful signal. That signal, unfortunately, is one of constriction and scarcity. You are essentially broadcasting to the universe, I do not have enough. I am in danger. There is lack here. And the spiritual law, much like a mirror, reflects that signal back to you as your continuing reality. It pushes the very energy of money away from your experience. Have you ever observed how certain individuals seem to attract financial opportunity effortlessly? They appear to be magnets for money. It is not always that they are intellectually superior or that they work impossibly harder than everyone else. The difference is often internal. They have learned, whether consciously or intuitively, to operate on a different frequency. They have aligned their internal energy, their beliefs, their expectations, their emotional state with the feeling of wealth, of abundance, of already having it. They resonate with prosperity, and so prosperity flows into their lives. This is not a mystery, it is a law. This understanding brings us to a pivotal and profound realization. Your current financial challenges, the struggles you may be facing, are not solely the result of your job, the state of the economy, or any series of unfortunate events. While those are the circumstances you see and feel in the natural realm, there is a deeper, more fundamental layer at work. There exists a secret chamber, a dedicated place within the realm of the spirit, where the very fabric of your reality can be influenced at its source. This is a place where linear time and eternity intersect, a junction point governed not by slow worldly processes, but by the authority of a spoken word imbued with faith. The entrance to T, his place, is known to very few, for it is not found through physical searching, but through spiritual revelation. And even among those who find it, fewer still comprehend the immediacy of its power. They approach it with the patience of the natural world, not understanding that within this realm, delay is not a requirement. I'm telling you this today because you are being extended an invitation into this very place, right now, as you listen. This is not a metaphorical invitation. It is a spiritual opportunity presented to your heart. What I am preparing to share with you is not a theoretical concept for you to ponder at a distance. It is not a hopeful idea that may come to pass someday if conditions are perfect. No, what this represents is a spiritual mechanism, a divine shortcut engineered within the very architecture of faith. It is designed to bypass the slow, grinding progression of natural cause and effect that we have become accustomed to. This mechanism operates on a higher law, and when engaged correctly, it accelerates provision from the realm of spirit into the realm of tangible fact. The promise inherent in this is audacious, I know. It stretches the limits of what we believe is possible in our daily lives. But its audacity is rooted in the immutable nature of God Himself, who did not labor for eons to create the heavens and the earth, but spoke them into instantaneous, flawless existence. The same creative power that summoned light from darkness is the foundation of this principle. Therefore, in the next 2 minutes, as you actively engage with this prayer, you are not merely beginning a hopeful request. You are not starting a process and then waiting to see if it might work weeks or months from now. You are activating a work that is in the Spirit already finished. You are stepping into the spiritual terminus where faith and manifestation meet, and in hat meeting, the result is not delayed but is instantaneous material evidence. You must allow this truth to reshape your expectation. We must together forget everything we think we know about how provision traditionally works. The money that is set to appear in your life is not, at this moment, being slowly printed at a mint, being painstakingly earned through an extra hour of overtime, or being processed through a sluggish human banking system. While it may manifest through those channels, its origin point is different. It is being summoned. It is being called forth from the invisible substance of faith, the raw material of the spiritual realm, directly into the visible, practical reality of your life. It is responding to a higher law than the laws of finance and commerce. It is moving in obedience to the law of the Spirit of life, a law that overrides lack and commands abundance. Your role in this sacred moment is beautifully specific. Your focused, attentive listening is far more than passive hearing. It is your conscious agreement with this spiritual truth. It is you saying yes to the possibility of the immediate. Furthermore, the expectation you hold in your heart is not idle hope, it is a spiritual force. It creates a vacuum, a space of readiness and anticipation that actively pulls the promise from the realm of the Spirit into your now. This dynamic is why simple wishing is ineffective. Wishing lacks the force of faith and the vacuum of true expectation. What we are doing here transcends wishing. This is not magic, nor is it a manipulative trick of the mind. It is the recovered science of kingdom principles, a long-forgotten operating system where the word of faith, spoken with genuine authority, commands the very rearrangement of spiritual atoms and the rerouting of resources in the unseen realm. These resources then manifest in your seen world as provisi, as solutions, as unexpected financial relief. You are standing on the brink of witnessing a glorious collapse, the collapse of the perceived time gap between your acute need and God's boundless supply. In the natural, we see a problem and then anticipate a long journey toward a solution. In this spiritual chamber, that timeline is compressed into obedience. So, in these consecrated seconds, we must actively prepare. I silence, in the name of Jesus, every internal and external voice of human logic that rises up to shout that this is impossible. Those voices are born of limited human experience, not of limitless spiritual reality. I also break off from you, right now, every ingrained mindset of delay. This is the mindset that has been taught to accept struggle, to believe that blessings must be slow, earned through suffering, and doled out only after lengthy trials. That mindset is a chain that keeps you in the slow lane of natural provision. I declare that it is severed from you now. In its place, I declare that your personal financial realm, your accounts, your opportunities, your resources is immediately responsive to the command of heaven. It is tuned to a different frequency, one that answers to faith. Therefore, with the authority vested in the name of Jesus Christ, I now speak directly to the wealth of the heavens, to the hidden resources of the earth that are ordained for the saints. I address the systems of provision in the unseen realm, and I issue a command for a sudden, tangible, and undeniable transfer. I am not asking politely for a possibility. I am speaking to spiritual realities as one with authority, declaring a shift from lack to abundance, from emptiness to fullness, specifically for you. This command sets in motion a spiritual transaction that your natural senses cannot yet perceive, but your spirit can bear witness to. The engagement of your Fa. Ith is the key that turns the ignition. The next 2 minutes are the sacred space where the impossible becomes your imminent reality. With that authority, I now call forth specific manifestations into your life. I call for cash to be found in unexpected ways. Perhaps in a coat pocket you haven't worn in seasons, tucked within the pages of an old book, or arriving as a refund you had long forgotten. I call for unexpected digital notifications, deposits appearing in your account from sources you do not recognize, alerts of transfers completed, and approvals for requests that had previously been delayed or denied. I call for physical checks to be discovered, arriving in your mailbox from unexpected origins, representing payments or blessings held up in the unseen. I speak to the ledgers of debt, both spiritual and physical, and I declare a supernatural erasure, a cancellation of obligations that goes beyond human negotiation, so that the physical records must now align with this heavenly decree. I command money to arrive from sources you cannot currently trace, from avenues that logic cannot map, demonstrating that this provision is orchestrated from a realm beyond your own understanding. I declare that within the very spiritual atmosphere of these next 2 minutes, the substance of your financial breakthrough is actively materializing. It is not static, it is in motion. It is taking on a form that you will be able to touch, see, and use. It is locating you, moving toward the specific coordinates of your life and your need with unerring precision. This requires a shift in your perception. Do not rely solely on your natural eyesight in the hours and days to come. To do so would be to look at the blueprint and mistake it for the unfinished building. Instead, you must perceive with the eyes of your spirit. Your spirit has the capacity to see the substance of things hoped for, to bear witness to a reality before it fully manifests in the physical. The appearing of your provision has already been decreed in the spiritual realm. From the moment of that decree, the countdown to its tangible arrival began. So I say to you now, receive. Open the hands of your heart and receive. The next 120 seconds are not ordinary time. They are charged time. In this span, they will defy and break every limitation your past experiences, your failures, or your family line has placed upon you. I am not using exaggerated language here. This is a spiritual fact. As concrete as the law of gravity, there exists a distinct dimension of answered prayer where God specializes in the suddenly. This is where decades of bondage end in a moment, where a lifetime of scarcity is overturned by a single divine transaction. You have just been granted access to this dimension through your faith and your focused agreement. The money that is meant for you is not a distant future promise on a heavenly ledger that will be fulfilled someday when you are somehow more worthy. That is a lie of delay. No, it is a present tense reality. Right now, it is as real in the spirit as the device you are holding is real in your hand. It is currently invisible to your natural eyes, yes, but it is utterly substantial, solid, and complete in the realm where all things truly originate. And it is now moving toward you. It is not meandering, it is moving with the velocity of a divine command, with the directed speed of a spiritual response to the word that has been spoken. Your role in this miracle is both singular and critical. It is not a role of labor, of striving, or of frantic effort. It is the role of a receiver. You are to listen with a heart that truly believes it is already done. This is the essence of faith, the assurance and conviction of realities not yet seen with physical eyes. Your Fa. Ith is not the original source of the creative power. That power belongs to God alone. But your faith is the essential conduit, the pipeline, that allows this instantaneous heavenly power to flow unimpeded into your tangible earthly circumstances. Without a conduit, even the most powerful force remains contained. Your believing heart is that conduit. Consider this profound truth. God created the entire cosmos, the vast complexity of the universe, simply by speaking. He did not toil or assemble. He declared, "Let there be," and there was. You are now positioning yourself in the atmosphere of that same kind of creative word, a word specifically designed and spoken to create wealth, stability, and abundance within the sphere of your life. This word carries the same creative DNA as the word that formed galaxies. I must be perfectly clear on an important point. The 2-minute time frame we are focusing on is not a limitation on God's ability or willingness to act. He is not bound by our clocks. Rather, it is a divine tool given to you, a focal point for your faith. Human faith in its untrained state tends to be vague and spread out over time, which dilutes its power. This specified time frame shatters procrastination. It demolishes the thought, maybe someday. It demands immediate, undiluted, concentrated belief. It forces your spirit to a point of decision. It asks you a direct question. Do you believe that God can and will operate within the very clock you live by? Can He work within the constraints of your Monday, your rent due date, your pressing need? Your continued, attentive presence here, your refusal to click away, is demonstrating a resounding yes. You are answering that question with your willingness. Therefore, in this concentrated and holy window, every passing second is supernaturally charged with creative spiritual energy. Every syllable of the prayer you are engaged in carries within it the genetic code, the complete blueprint of your financial breakthrough. They are not just sound waves hitting your eardrums. As you hear them and agree with them in your heart, they become spiritual seeds. And these seeds are not falling onto barren ground or rocky soil. They are hitting the fertile, prepared ground of your expectation, the expectation you have chosen to cultivate in this moment. By their very nature, by the spiritual law governing them, these seeds must sprout. Their growth is not slow, like a natural seed waiting for seasons. In the spirit, their sprouting is instantaneous. The life is in the seed, and the moment it finds agreement in the soil of your heart, its fruit begins to form. We are not waiting for a process to start. We are acknowledging the process that has already been initiated by the spoken word and your faith. The 2 minutes are the space where your faith fully aligns with the word, creating the perfect environment for immediate manifestation. With this understanding firmly in place, I now speak directly to every form of blockage and delay that has held your provision captive. I address the frozen assets in your life, not merely financial ones, but every God-given resource, idea, and opportunity that has been stuck in a state of suspension, unable to move toward you. I command an immediate thaw, a release of divine liquidity that frees what has been held back. I speak to the blocked channels of income, favor, and inheritance, whether they were blocked by spiritual opposition, by wrong agreements you've made with poverty, or by systemic delays in the natural realm. I command a sudden and powerful unclogging. Let the pipes of provision, both seen and unseen, be cleared of all obstructions so that a flood of abundance can flow freely to you without hindrance. I declare a right now release over every blessing, every sum of money, every profitable venture that has had your name on it but has been detained in transit. The embargo is lifted. Specifically, in the authoritative name of Jesus, I call forth cash from the most unexpected and overlooked places. I call it from coat pockets you haven't worn in years, from the pages of old books stored away, from forgotten drawers and boxes. I call it from administrative errors that swing in your favor, from mistaken refunds that find their way to you, from divine appointments on the street where someone feels compelled to bless you. I command your electronic devices, your phone, your computer, your tablet, to light up with unexpected notifications. Let there be alerts of deposits you did not initiate, confirmations of transfers you did not request, and messages of approval for loans, grants, or opportunities that you had once given up on. I speak to the very ledgers where your debts are recorded, not only on earth, but in heavenly realms where the true accounting takes place. I declare a supernatural cancellation, a wiping clean of those obligations by a power higher than any bank or institution. I decree that the physical, earthly records must now come into alignment with this spiritual clearance, resulting in letters of forgiveness, reduced balances, or debts completely vanishing from your statements. Furthermore, I break once and for all the power of every spirit of lack and poverty that has stood as a sentry against your wealth. These are not mere metaphors, they are spiritual forces that foster mindsets of scarcity, fear of lack, and a belief in perpetual struggle. They have been assigned to guard the gates of your inheritance. I dismiss them now, in the name that is above every name. Their assignment is terminated. Their right to block your access is revoked. The pathway to your abundance is now clear, open, and undeaf. Ended. The transfer from the storehouses of heaven to the account of your life is not pending, it is actively in motion. Can you sense it? There is a shift occurring in the spiritual atmosphere around you. The very energy is changing. The money, the resource, the substance of your answer is not static. It is materializing, coalescing, and it is on its way to you. In any moments of silence that follow, do not mistake the quiet for inactivity. Do not let doubt rise up because you do not yet see the physical evidence with your eyes. The most important work is being done in the unseen. These 2 minutes are your sacred point of contact with the miracle, the moment where your faith touches the promise. Hold on to that connection. Now, let's talk practically about what is also happening within your own being during this time, because this spiritual truth operates in tandem with the reality of your created nature. What is occurring in your personal energy field is supported by observable science. Research in neuroscience and physics shows us that our focused thoughts and intentions generate measurable electrical and electromagnetic signals. They have a real physical impact. When you are locked in a cycle of worry about money, you are unconsciously but effectively broadcasting a powerful, consistent signal that says, I am in danger. I do not have enough. There is scarcity here. And the universe, operating as a reflective system, echoes that signal back to you, manifesting as more circumstances that validate the fear. Wealthy individuals often intuitively understand this principle. They maintain an internal expectation of abundance. They operate from a mindset of there is always more, and so their energy field attracts circumstances that match that belief. This is not mystical magic. It is a facet of our biological and energetic design. Consider the work of a researcher like Dr. Masaru Emoto, who demonstrated through his experiments with water crystals that human thought, emotion, and spoken words can directly affect the structure of water. Since the human adult body is composed of approximately 60 to 70% water, the implications are profound. When you speak words of faith, of abundance, and of gratitude with genuine belief and deep emotion, you are not just thinking positive thoughts. You are literally rewriting the biological and energetic blueprint of your own body. You are restructuring yourself at a cellular level to become a receptacle that is hospitable to the wealth you are calling in. You are aligning your own water, your own cells, with the frequency of prosperity. This converges with the fundamental principle of quantum physics, the observer effect. This is the proven concept that the mere act of observation, of focused attention, influences the behavior of the system being observed. At the most basic level of reality, particles exist in a state of potential until they are observed. Your conscious believing attention is a creative force. When you truly see yourself as already wealthy, when you feel the feeling of financial peace and security deep in your bones as if it were a present reality, you are doing far more than imagining. You are, in a very real scientific sense, collapsing infinite quantum possibilities into a single tangible reality, the reality of your prosperity. This is not merely a nice theory for motivation. It is the leading edge of hard science, pointing toward a participatory universe where consciousness plays a key role. The words of the prayer I am guiding you through, therefore, act with this dual power. Spiritually, they are a decree of faith. Energetically and biologically, they function as a specific tuning code. They help to recalibrate your personal energy signature, your vibrational F. Frequency. To resonate in harmony with the energy of money, which is ultimately the energy of divine flow, value, and creative exchange. When this alignment is achieved, things begin to shift on multiple levels. Here is what you can expect when this alignment starts to take hold. Within hours, or sometimes in just minutes, you may feel a palpable physical sensation. Your entire nervous system may begin to relax. That heavy, tight, anxious feeling in your chest or stomach, the constant companion of financial stress, will start to dissolve. A sense of lightness may replace it. Your mind, which was once clouded with worry and frantic calculations, will begin to clear. Mental fog lifts, and in its place comes a newfound creativity and mental sharpness. This is not an accident. It is the direct result of your energy shifting from a state of fear, which triggers the survival-focused fight-or-flight response, to a state of faith and expectation, which allows for higher cognitive function and problem-solving. And then, something remarkable happens. You will start to notice opportunities. These are opportunities that were likely present around you all along, but you were unable to see them because your vision was constricted by stress and survival mode. Now, with a clearer mind and a calibrated energy field, you spot them. A conversation, an advertisement, a chance encounter, an idea that suddenly pops into your head, these become visible as the pathways for your answered prayer. In my years of studying the patterns of those who live in consistent abundance, from technology billionaires to real estate magnates, I observed a fascinating and consistent habit. It goes beyond budgeting or investing wisely. These individuals, whether consciously or intuitively, engage in a specific practice with money. They don't merely plan for it or work for it in a purely mechanical sense. They communicate with the universe concerning it. They have actual, intentional conversations with the creative force of abundance. They speak to their wealth and their future as if engaging with a living, responsive ENT. This is because, from an energetic and spiritual standpoint, abundance is a living, breathing flow of creative intelligence. They approach it with respect and with dialogue. They ask for what they want and need, not from a place of beggarly pleading, but with the calm confidence of someone who knows the answer is already yes. They operate from a place of assured reception. Consider the habits of renowned figures. Warren Buffett speaks of visualizing his investment wins, seeing the outcome in detail before it ever happens in the market. Oprah Winfrey has often discussed the practice of gratitude, of thanking the universe for blessings, even before they manifest physically. These are not just feel-good, think positive exercises relegated to self-help books. They are, in truth, immensely powerful spiritual tools disguised as simple daily habits. They are practical applications of the principle that faith is the substance of things hoped for. The prayer I am leading you through operates on this exact same timeless principle. It is not a prayer of desperate begging, born of fear and lack. That kind of prayer often reinforces the feeling of not having. Instead, this is a prayer of confident conversation and declaration, spoken from a position of spiritual authority and inner knowing. It is the speech of someone who understands they are not trying to convince a reluctant God to be generous, but rather aligning themselves with the ever-flowing generosity that already exists. They are speaking from the finish line, not the starting block. This is the pivotal point where everything changes for you. I will now walk you through the specific words and steps of this financial reset prayer. Do not be concerned. This is not about adhering to a specific religious dogma. This is about the correct and powerful use of your God-given mind, your intention, and your spiritual art. Hority. It is a technology of faith. Here is our plan together. First, we must honestly acknowledge your current situation. This is not an exercise in self-condemnation or wallowing in difficulty. We cannot navigate from a place we refuse to see. We must, with clarity and without shame, accept where you are standing right now. This honest acceptance is not agreement with the problem, it is the necessary starting point for your departure from it. It grounds your faith in reality and prevents it from being a vague fantasy. Next, we will employ specific potent phrases. I call these abundance codes. These are carefully constructed statements designed to bypass the intellectual doubts and logical objections of your conscious analytical brain, the part that wants to argue with possibility. These codes speak directly to your subconscious mind and to the spiritual realm, sending a clear, unambiguous signal that you are open for business, that you are ready to receive, and that the channels are now cleared. Finally, and most importantly, we will seal this prayer with total conviction. I do not want you to merely recite words. I want you to proclaim them. I want you to feel the truth of them vibrating in the very center of your being, in your chest. Let them resonate from your heart, not just your head. So with your heart open, please speak these words after me, either aloud or in the silent conviction of your spirit. I am speaking directly to the endless abundance that surrounds me and permeates my life at this very moment. I openly admit that I have been operating from a place of fear of lack, fear of failure, fear of tomorrow, and right now, I consciously and completely let that fear go. I release it. I am also releasing the heavy weight of shame I have carried regarding my financial situation. That shame is not mine to bear any longer. I let go of the deep seat. Lie that I do not deserve wealth, that prosperity is for others but not for me. That lie is broken now. I am breaking once and for all the cycle of poverty and lack-mindedness that may have been passed down through generations in my family line. That cycle ends with me, right here, right now. I am calling for the specific money I need at this time, clear, tangible provision, with total clarity and focus. I am asking for opportunities that are in perfect alignment with my true purpose and my God-given gifts, opportunities that bring both prosperity and fulfillment. I ask for the wisdom and the discernment to recognize these blessings when they appear, and for the courage to reach out and take hold of them without hesitation. I now make my declaration. I declare that my season of struggling with money concludes at this exact moment. I declare that wealth flows to me easily, naturally, and consistently through multiple streams. I am a magnet for divinely orchestrated success, and I accept this success with deep, humble gratitude, and with a profound sense of responsibility to be a wise steward and a channel of blessing to others. I need you to pay exceptionally close attention, because this next point is where many well-intentioned people stumble. You cannot simply recite these powerful words and then immediately return to your old familiar mental patterns of worry, lack, and anxious calculation. That would be like planting a seed and then digging it up every hour to see if it has grown. You must allow the shift to solidify within you. You must nurture the new feeling that these words are intended to birth. Can you feel that? That subtle lightness beginning in your chest? That slight easing of a tension you may have carried for so long you thought it was normal? That faint, quiet sensation that maybe, just maybe, things could actually work out. That is not merely a passing emotion or wishful thinking. That is the authentic internal shift of energy. That is your entire being, spirit, soul, and body, beginning to realign and resonate with the frequency of your declaration. That is the universe, the divine law of reciprocity, beginning to respond to your trust. The prayer has powerfully opened a door, but a door must be walked through. For the next 48 hours, I want you to be intentionally watchful. Keep the eyes of your spirit and your natural sight wide open. Be alert for random inspired ideas that suddenly pop into your mind. Write them down. Be attentive to unexpected phone calls, messages, or emails. Watch for new chances, invitations, or offers that seem to appear out of the blue from sources you hadn't considered. Please understand, these are not random accidents or mere coincidences. They are the universe's delivery system. They are the specific, personalized answers to the prayer you have just prayed, beginning to manifest in your visible world. They are the pathways through which your provision is arriving. I need you to remember this foundational truth. And remember it well. You are not defined by your current bank balance. You are not the sum total of your debts. You are not your present circumstances. These are conditions you are experiencing. They are not your identity. You are a powerful, creative, spiritual being, made in the image of a limitless God, and you are simply navigating a temporary season of challenge. And that season, by the authority of your faith and the spiritual laws you have engaged, is now coming to a decisive end. If you felt that internal shift, that initial flutter of lightness and hope, I want you to perform one final, powerful action to lock it into your reality. Go to the comment section below this message. Do not just think about it. Type out these words: I receive my breakthrough now. This public declaration is a profound step. It moves your faith from the private realm into the communal. It is like signing a finalized contract with the universe, stating your unwavering acceptance of the terms of blessing. It solidifies your stance. And I make you this promise: come back to this place in 30 days. Return and tell me what has happened. Share the story of the surprise money, the unexpected check, the sudden opportunity, the canceled debt, the creative idea that turned into income. It is going to happen. Not because I possess any special power to make it so, but because you, through this process, have finally and deliberately aligned your entire being with the ceaseless, abundant flow of wealth that was always ordained for you. You have tuned your receiver to the right frequency. Now, receive. Stop scrolling. Did you know your bank account could grow while you sleep? Yes, literally while your eyes are closed tonight. In just 4 hours of deep sleep meditation, you can reprogram your mind to attract wealth, unlock abundance, and open doors to opportunities you never thought possible. Close your eyes and imagine the life you've always dreamed of. No limits, no stress, no scarcity. That life isn't just fantasy. It's already waiting for you inside your subconscious mind. The brain doesn't sleep the way you think. When you enter deep relaxation, it's primed to absorb positive commands and beliefs, especially about money. Tonight, for the next 4 hours, your mind will begin a transformation, aligning your thoughts, feelings, and actions with the flow of abundance. Your subconscious is like fertile soil. Whatever seeds you plant tonight, wealth, confidence, success, will grow into reality tomorrow. The patterns you repeat in this meditation aren't magic. They are rewiring your neural pathway so opportunities, financial growth, and prosperity start to flow naturally into your life. Focus on your breathing. With each inhale, draw in wealth energy. With each exhale, release scarcity and doubt. Picture yourself receiving abundance, paychecks, opportunities, gifts, investments multiplying. Feel the joy, the freedom, the power of financial security. Every thought, every image, every feeling is a magnet for your reality. As you drift deeper, your subconscious will carry these affirmations into your dreams. I am worthy of wealth. I am open to receive abundance. Money flows to me effortlessly. The mind can't distinguish between real and imagined. So, by practicing this meditation consistently, you are literally shaping your waking reality. If you're ready to experience true abundance, commit to this 4-hour sleep meditation tonight. Set your intention, play this meditation, and let your mind do the work while you rest. Tomorrow morning, notice the subtle shifts, the clarity, the inspiration, the opportunities that start showing up. Wealth is not a destination. It's a mindset. Every night as you sleep, you have a choice. Continue as you were or activate the consciousness that attracts prosperity effortlessly. Tonight, let your mind awaken to abundance. Sleep, reprogram, and step into the life you deserve. Wealth consciousness activation is the profound understanding that wealth is not just an external goal, but a mindset that can be nurtured, cultivated, and expanded. It is the recognition that your thoughts, beliefs, and feelings about money directly influence your ability to attract it into your life. Many people struggle financially not because opportunities are absent, but because their inner mind is unconsciously programmed with scarcity thinking, self-doubt, and fear around money. Wealth consciousness is about shifting that inner landscape, rewiring the mind to see abundance instead of limitation. When you activate this consciousness, your brain begins to focus on opportunities, solutions, and possibilities rather than obstacles and restrictions. It is the difference between feeling entitled to struggle and feeling entitled to prosperity. Wealth consciousness activation involves training your mind to recognize that money is an energy flow. And like any energy, it responds to your attention, intention, and vibration. The moment you perceive wealth as accessible and abundant, you naturally start making decisions, taking actions, and recognizing chances that align with financial growth. This activation is not about merely wishing for money or hoping for luck. It requires deliberate attention to the thoughts you harbor, the language you use, and the images you hold in your mind regarding wealth. Your subconscious mind, which governs 95% of your daily thoughts and behaviors, plays a central role in this process. By repeatedly focusing on positive financial outcomes, visualizing your desired life, and affirming your worthiness to receive money, you gradually shift from a mindset of limitation to one of abundance. Wealth consciousness also means understanding the psychology behind money attraction. People with activated wealth consciousness see money as a tool for creating impact, freedom, and joy, rather than a source of stress or conflict. They develop habits that support prosperity, such as saving, investing wisely, creating multiple income streams, and continuously seeking opportunities to grow. The key lies in consistently aligning thoughts, emotions, and actions toward the energy of wealth. Every time you choose gratitude over lack, opportunity over fear, and abundance over scarcity, you are actively training your mind to attract more financial resources. Sleep meditation is a powerful tool in this activation process, because during deep sleep, your conscious mind rests, but your subconscious mind remains highly receptive. By introducing affirmations, visualizations, and meditative guidance during sleep, you plant the seeds of wealth directly into the fertile soil of your subconscious. Over time, these seeds grow into habitual patterns, intuitive financial decisions, and a natural attraction to wealth opportunities. Wealth consciousness activation is not a quick fix scheme, but a long-term transformation. It involves patience, repetition, and a deep belief that prosperity is your birthright. As this consciousness strengthens, you notice that money flows more effortlessly. Challenges become easier to navigate, and abundance is reflected in multiple areas of your life, including relationships, health, and personal growth. The ultimate goal of a CT, activating wealth consciousness, is to live in a state where attracting, receiving, and utilizing money align seamlessly with your values, purpose, and desires. It is about creating a mindset where you are naturally drawn to abundance, and scarcity no longer dictates your choices, feelings, or expectations. By consciously nurturing this mindset through meditation, visualization, and intentional thought, you not only increase your financial potential, but also transform your overall relationship with prosperity. Subconscious reprogramming is the process of consciously influencing the deep layers of the mind where beliefs, habits, and automatic responses reside. While the conscious mind directs only a small fraction of our thoughts and decisions, the subconscious governs almost every aspect of how we perceive ourselves, the world, and our ability to create wealth. Most people go through life with limiting beliefs about money that were formed early in childhood or reinforced by society, culture, and personal experiences. These beliefs might include ideas such as money is hard to come by, rich people are greedy, or I will never be wealthy. Such thoughts operate below conscious awareness, silently shaping behaviors, choices, and reactions to financial situations. Subconscious reprogramming allows you to identify these limiting patterns and replace them with empowering beliefs that align with prosperity and abundance. The mind does not distinguish between imagination and reality, which is why techniques like sleep meditation are highly effective. When you guide your mind during a relaxed, meditative state, you bypass the critical filters of the conscious mind and speak directly to the subconscious, planting ideas and images that it accepts as truth. For example, affirming statements such as "I am open to receiving wealth," "Money flows to me effortlessly," or "I am worth of financial abundance." Gradually the subconscious perception of money from a source of struggle to a source of opportunity. This process is not instant, but with repetition, the subconscious begins to adjust behaviors accordingly. People may notice that they start making wiser financial decisions, recognizing opportunities that they would have previously overlooked, or naturally attracting situations that enhance their financial situation. Subconscious reprogramming also involves replacing fear-based thoughts with confidence-based thoughts. Scarcity thinking and anxiety about money often cause hesitation, procrastination, or self-sabotage, which blocks the natural flow of abundance. By consciously instilling a sense of security, self-worth, and trust in the abundance of the universe, these negative patterns lose their grip. Meditation and guided visualization during sleep are particularly potent because the subconscious is more receptive when the body and conscious mind are in deep relaxation. The brain enters alpha or theta states where neural pathways are easier to reshape and new beliefs can be embedded. Through consistent practice, the subconscious begins to interpret wealth and abundance as normal and expected rather than rare or unattainable. This transformation extends beyond money. As the subconscious absorbs empowering beliefs, it influences self-esteem, creativity, decision-making, and resilience, creating a ripple effect that enhances multiple areas of life. Another key aspect of subconscious reprogramming is emotional alignment. Thoughts alone are not enough. Emotions act as a catalyst for embedding beliefs deeply into the subconscious. Feeling gratitude for money, visualizing the excitement of financial freedom, and sensing the joy of abundance during meditation all strengthen the new programming. Repetition, patience, and focus are essential. Just as negative beliefs were formed gradually over years, positive beliefs also require consistent nurturing. Daily or nightly practices, particularly during the vulnerable yet receptive state of sleep, accelerate the reprogramming process, turning wealth consciousness from a mental concept into a lived experience. The ultimate result of subconscious reprogramming is a mind that automatically supports financial growth, recognizes opportunities, and aligns actions with abundance without conscious effort, creating a natural and effortless path toward prosperity. Visualization and affirmation are two of the most powerful tools for activating wealth consciousness and creating a life of abundance. The mind is naturally influenced by images and repeated statements, which is why visualizing your goals and affirming your worthiness can dramatically shift your financial reality. Visualization is the process of forming vivid mental images of the life you desire. Imagining the experiences, possessions, and feelings associated with wealth as if they are happening right now. The subconscious mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. So when you consistently visualize abundance, it begins to accept these images as part of your reality. This practice sends a clear signal to the subconscious, shaping beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors that naturally attract the circumstances and opportunities necessary to manifest your vision. It is not enough to simply think about money in abstract terms. True visualization involves engaging all your senses and emotions. Imagine feeling the security of a growing bank account, the freedom to travel, the joy of helping others, or the excitement of achieving financial milestones. Picture yourself receiving payments, signing successful contracts, or living in the home of your dreams. The more real and detailed these me-entile images are, the stronger the impact on your subconscious mind. Embedding the notion that wealth is both attainable and inevitable. Affirmations work hand in hand with visualization by reinforcing positive beliefs through deliberate repeated statements. Affirmations are concise present tense statements that declare your worthiness, abundance, and ability to attract wealth. For example, statements such as, I am a magnet for prosperity. Money flows to me easily and effortlessly, and I deserve unlimited abundance, are effective because they counteract the limiting beliefs that may have been instilled over years. By repeating these affirmations consistently, especially during a relaxed state of meditation or before sleep, you overwrite the negative programming that may unconsciously limit your financial growth. The combination of visualization and affirmation creates a powerful synergy. While visualization engages the imagination and emotions, affirmations provide linguistic reinforcement that solidifies the new belief patterns. Together, they create a multidimensional experience for the subconscious mind, which begins to internalize the reality of abundance. Consistency is critical in this practice. Just as habits and beliefs are formed gradually over time, repeated visualization and affirmation are required to rewire the mind for wealth. Practicing nightly or during sleep meditation takes advantage of the brain's natural receptivity during deep relaxation. When alpha and theta waves dominate and the subconscious is most open to suggestion, emotional involvement is also a key factor. Simply thinking about wealth intellectually is not enough. Feeling the excitement, gratitude, and confidence associated with abundance amplifies the effectiveness of these techniques. Over time, this repeated mental rehearsal translates into real-world results. You begin to notice opportunities for financial growth that you previously overlooked. You make decisions aligned with prosperity and you act with confidence rather than hesitation. The mind becomes naturally oriented toward abundance, and scarcity-based thinking loses its influence. Visualization and affirmation are not wishful thinking. They are deliberate, intentional methods of shaping reality by transforming the internal landscape of belief and expectation. As your subconscious mind embraces these positive patterns, your thoughts, feelings, and actions align with the flow of wealth, creating an effortless and continuous attraction of financial abundance into your life. Relaxation and the alpha state are essential components in activating wealth consciousness and allowing the mind to absorb abundance effortlessly. The human brain operates at different frequencies, depending on activity, thought, and emotional state. The alpha state, which occurs when the mind is deeply relaxed but still alert, is a unique brainwave pattern that creates an optimal environment for learning, reprogramming, and manifestation. In this state, the brain is neither fully awake with high beta activity, nor deeply asleep with delta waves dominating. Instead, it occupies a harmonious middle ground where the subconscious becomes highly receptive. When you intentionally relax your body and mind, tension dissolves, stress diminishes, and mental chatter quiets. This relaxation signals to your nervous system that it is safe to enter the alpha state, which is often associated with a calm, focused, and receptive mind. The alpha state is a natural doorway to influence subconscious programming because it bypasses the critical judgmental filters of the conscious mind. During normal waking consciousness, the conscious mind constantly evaluates, doubts, and questions ideas which can block the absorption of empowering belli. However, when in a relaxed alpha state, the mind becomes open and capable of accepting positive suggestions, affirmations, and visualizations without resistance. This is why techniques like meditation, deep breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, and guided imagery are so effective for activating wealth consciousness. The process begins by intentionally slowing down breathing and directing attention inward. Each exhale releases tension from muscles, thoughts, and emotions, allowing a deeper sense of calm to settle. As the body relaxes, the brain naturally shifts toward alpha wave frequencies, creating a mental environment that encourages creativity, intuition, and the absorption of new patterns of thought. In this state, you can plant ideas of abundance, financial success, and prosperity directly into the subconscious, where they influence behavior, perception, and decision without conscious effort. The alpha state also enhances focus and mental clarity. As distractions fade and the mind becomes centered, you are able to visualize wealth with greater vividness, feel the associated emotions more intensely, and repeat affirmations with sincerity and belief. Emotional engagement is critical because the subconscious responds more strongly to feelings than to mere thoughts. The calm yet focused state of alpha waves allows these emotions to embed deeply, reinforcing the patterns that support prosperity. Consistent practice of relaxation techniques to achieve alpha waves strengthens neural pathways, making it easier for the brain to enter this state at will. Over time, relaxation becomes second nature, and entering alpha becomes an automatic trigger for wealth consciousness and manifestation. Additionally, the alpha state reduces stress hormones such as cortisol, which often interfere with decision-making, confidence, and the ability to attract financial opportunities. A relaxed body and mind are therefore not just benefic, for mental well-being, but are fundamental for creating an internal environment where wealth can flow naturally. By using guided sleep meditations or focused relaxation practices during evening hours, you synchronize your alpha state with the natural cycles of sleep, allowing the subconscious mind to absorb empowering beliefs while the body restores and rejuvenates. As this practice becomes habitual, the mind develops a natural inclination toward abundance, clarity, and inspired action, and opportunities for wealth begin to appear more easily and consistently in daily life. Relaxation and the alpha state are not merely techniques, but gateways to reprogramming the mind, aligning emotions with prosperity, and creating a fertile mental environment where wealth consciousness can thrive effortlessly. Consistent practice is the foundation for activating wealth consciousness and transforming the mind into a magnet for abundance. Change in the subconscious mind does not occur overnight. It requires regular repetition, dedication, and a willingness to engage with empowering habits over time. Just as muscles strengthen through repeated exercise, the patterns of thought and belief that attract wealth strengthen through continuous mental and emotional practice. Without consistency, even the most powerful visualizations, affirmations, or meditations remain fleeting, producing only temporary shifts rather than lasting transformation. Wealth consciousness is cultivated by making the practice of abundance a daily intentional routine. This could involve guided meditations, repeated affirmations, mental visualization, journaling about financial goals, or conscious reflection on gratitude and prosperity. Each act of repetition embeds new neural pathways in the brain, replacing limiting beliefs with empowering ones. The subconscious mind thrives on patterns. When consistent messages of abundance are delivered, the mind begins to accept wealth, opportunity, and success as natural and expected aspects of life. In contrast, sporadic practice allows all scarcity-based patterns to regain dominance, slowing the process of transformation and leaving the individual stuck in cycles of limitation and doubt. Consistent practice also fosters discipline and mental resilience. As one repeatedly focuses on thoughts, feelings, and images of wealth, the mind becomes skilled at maintaining a positive and focused state, even when external circumstances appear challenging. This ability to sustain an abundance-oriented mindset becomes crucial in recognizing and seizing opportunities, making strategic financial decisions, and maintaining confidence in the face of temporary setbacks. The effectiveness of consistent practice is further amplified when it is integrated into key moments of the day, such as immediately upon waking or just before sleep. During these periods, the mind is naturally more receptive and the nervous system is relaxed, creating ideal conditions for subconscious absorption. By practicing nightly meditations or affirmations for even a short duration, individuals provide repeated reinforcement of prosperity-focused beliefs, ensuring that these ideas become deeply ingrained over time. Another vital aspect of consistency is emotional engagement. Repetition becomes far more powerful when accompanied by genuine feelings of excitement, gratitude, and confidence. Feeling the emotions associated with achieving wealth during practice enhances the subconscious programming, creating a magnetic attraction for the desired outcomes. Over weeks and months, this persistent engagement transforms the internal dialogue from one of limitation to one of possibility. Individuals begin to notice subtle changes in behavior, awareness, and decision-making. They start recognizing financial opportunities that were previously overlooked, taking inspired actions aligned with abundance, and naturally gravitating toward environments and relationships that support growth. Importantly, consistent practice does not require perfection. It requires persistence. Even small daily efforts accumulate over time, creating compounding effects on the mind, habits, and life circumstances. Skipping a day or facing temporary distractions does not negate progress, but returning to the practice with commitment reinforces the neural patterns and strengthens the connection to wealth consciousness. Ultimately, consistent practice is the bridge between intention and manifestation. It ensures that the seeds of abundance planted through visualization, affirmation, and meditation are nurtured until they bear fruit. Wealth consciousness, once activated through repeated effort, becomes self-sustaining, guiding thoughts, emotions, and actions toward the effortless creation and attraction of prosperity in every area of life. Energy alignment is the process of harmonizing your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the frequency of abundance, allowing wealth to flow into your life naturally and effortlessly. Everything in the universe, including money, operates on energy, and like attracts like. When your internal energy resonates with the vibration of prosperity, opportunities, resources, and ideas that match that frequency are drawn toward you. Many people experience financial struggle not because of external circumstances, but because their internal energy is out of alignment with wealth. They may desire money consciously, but subconsciously they carry fear, doubt, or resistance, which blocks the natural flow of abundance. Aligning energy requires an awareness of your thoughts, beliefs, and emotional state, and a deliberate effort to shift them toward positivity, confidence, and expectation of success. It involves cultivating feelings of worthiness, gratitude, and excitement about receiving wealth, while simultaneously releasing negativity, scarcity thinking, and self-imposed limitations. The mind and body communicate through energy. When your mental focus is scattered or your emotions are dominated by fear or worry, your energy becomes inconsistent and prevents the manifestation of prosperity. Conversely, when thoughts and feelings are consistently tuned to abundance, your energy emits a frequency that attracts corresponding experiences. Meditation, visualization, and affirmations are powerful tools to achieve energy alignment. Through meditation, you calm the mind, center your emotions, and enter a state where your energy can shift from tension or resistance to harmony and receptivity. Visualization allows you to imagine living in abundance, feeling the joy, freedom, and satisfaction that wealth brings, which elevates your emotional energy to match that reality. Affirmations reinforce this alignment by repeatedly programming the subconscious mind with statements that reflect abundance, capability, and openness to receive. Emotional energy is particularly significant because emotions are the driving force behind manifestation. Feelings of gratitude, joy, and excitement amplify the energy of abundance, sending a clear signal to the universe that you are ready to receive. Repeating these emotional states during daily practice or sleep meditation strengthens the energy patterns, making them more dominant than old limiting beliefs. Aligning energy also means taking inspired action in harmony with abundance. Energy is not passive. It flows through decisions, habits, and behaviors that are consistent with prosperity. When your internal vibration matches the frequency of wealth, you are naturally guided toward choices, opportunities, and environments that support growth and financial success. Resistance or misalignment occurs when thoughts, emotions, and actions are inconsistent. When you desire wealth, but simultaneously doubt your ability to achieve it or harbor fear about handling money. Energy alignment requires self-awareness and the willingness to consciously adjust mental and emotional states whenever misalignment is detected. Consistency in this practice is essential because the mind and body respond to repeated signals over time. By habitually tuning your energy toward abundance, you create a stable frequency that magnetizes wealth and reinforces empowering beliefs. The cumulative effect of energy alignment is profound. It transforms not only financial reality but also confidence, clarity, and intuition. Opportunities that on seemed elusive become noticeable. Actions feel inspired rather than forced, and financial growth flows in a way that feels natural and effortless. True energy alignment creates a state where wealth consciousness is fully integrated and attracting prosperity becomes an automatic and continuous process, reflecting the internal harmony you cultivate within yourself. Releasing limiting beliefs is one of the most crucial steps in activating wealth consciousness, because these beliefs act as invisible barriers that prevent abundance from entering your life. Limiting beliefs about money are often formed over years of experiences, conditioning, and societal influences, and they reside deeply in the subconscious mind. They can take the form of thoughts like, I will never be rich, money is hard to come by, I don't deserve financial success, or wealth is only for others, not me. These beliefs, even when unspoken or unrecognized, consciously shape behaviors, decisions, and opportunities, keeping individuals trapped in cycles of financial struggle. The first step in releasing these beliefs is awareness. You must identify the thoughts, patterns, and emotions that consistently undermine your sense of abundance. Journaling, self-reflection, and meditation are effective tools for bringing these subconscious beliefs to light. Once recognized, the next step is challenging their validity. Ask yourself whether these beliefs are absolute truths or simply conditioned assumptions that no longer serve your growth. Many limiting beliefs are inherited or adopted without question, yet they hold no factual power over your ability to attract wealth. Releasing them requires a conscious decision to let go of the old narratives and replace them with empowering alternatives. Affirmations, visualization, and meditation are powerful methods for this replacement by repeatedly affirming statement. NTE such as I am worthy of wealth, money flows to me effortlessly, or I am open to receive abundance. You begin to overwrite the old limiting beliefs with new positive programming. Visualization enhances this process by allowing you to imagine living a life free of financial constraints, experiencing the joy, freedom, and security that comes with prosperity. Emotional engagement is key during this process because the subconscious mind responds most strongly to feelings. It is not enough to intellectually reject limiting beliefs. You must feel the empowerment, confidence, and excitement associated with financial freedom. This emotional reinforcement accelerates the release of old patterns and strengthens new abundance-focused beliefs. Another important aspect is forgiveness and letting go of past financial failures or experiences that may have reinforced scarcity thinking. Holding on to regret, guilt, or fear perpetuates limiting beliefs and blocks the natural flow of wealth. By consciously forgiving yourself and others and releasing attachment to negative financial experiences, you create space for abundance to enter. Consistency in this practice is essential. Limiting beliefs have often been built over many years, so their removal requires repeated attention and reinforcement. Daily meditation, affirmations, and reflective practices ensure that all patterns are gradually dismantled and replaced with empowering thought structures. Sleep meditation is particularly effective because the subconscious mind is highly receptive during deep relaxation, allowing new beliefs to be embedded while the critical conscious mind rests. As limiting beliefs are released, a noticeable shift occurs in both mindset and behavior. Individuals begin to recognize opportunities that were previously overlooked, make decisions aligned with growth and prosperity, and approach financial matters with confidence and clarity. Over time, the release of limiting beliefs transforms not just your finer gel reality, but your overall sense of self-worth and potential. It allows you to operate from a space of possibility rather than restriction, creating a natural alignment with wealth consciousness. By continually identifying challenging and replacing limiting beliefs, you free yourself from the mental barriers that have held you back, creating a fertile internal environment where abundance can flow effortlessly and continuously. Integration with daily actions is the final and most critical step in transforming wealth consciousness from a mental concept into tangible reality. While meditation, visualization, affirmation, and subconscious reprogramming are powerful tools, their true effectiveness is realized only when the insights and energy cultivated during these practices are applied through consistent conscious action in everyday life. Wealth consciousness is not simply a passive state of mind. It is a dynamic alignment between internal belief and external behavior. Actions serve as a bridge between intention and manifestation, translating the inner programming of abundance into measurable outcomes. Daily integration begins with mindfulness and awareness. As you move through your day, it is essential to observe your thoughts, choices, and responses to financial opportunities. Are they aligned with abundance, or are they influenced by old patterns of scarcity, fear, or hesitation? By maintaining this awareness, you create the opportunity to consciously shift behaviors toward decisions that support growth, investment, and the creation of value. Inspired action is the hallmark of integration. These are actions that feel natural, aligned, and confident, rather than forced or driven by obligation. When your mind is tuned to wealth consciousness, you become more attuned to opportunities that may have been invisible before. Whether it is networking, exploring new income streams, investing wisely, or improving skills that increase earning potential, inspired actions amplify the effectiveness of meditation and visualization by translating them into reality. Another vital aspect is consistency. Just as the subconscious mind requires repetition to internalize new beliefs, daily actions must be consistently aligned with abundance to reinforce the mental patterns established during sleep meditation or visualization. This creates a feedback loop. Your actions generate results, which reinforce belief, which encourages further aligned action, and the cycle continues, steadily increasing financial growth and opportunity. Integration also involves strategic planning and prioritization. Abundance-minded individuals recognize that financial growth is not random. It is cultivated through deliberate decisions that maximize resources, time, and effort. Setting clear intentions, defining specific financial goals, and taking practical steps toward them ensures that the energy why of wealth consciousness is channeled effectively into results. Emotional alignment during action is equally important. Acting with confidence, gratitude, and positivity strengthens the subconscious programming and ensures that each step taken resonates with abundance rather than fear or resistance. Even small actions, when consistently applied with the right mindset, accumulate into significant outcomes over time. Additionally, integration requires the release of procrastination and hesitation. The subconscious mind may signal opportunities, but without action, these signals remain dormant. By cultivating the habit of prompt, deliberate action in alignment with your wealth consciousness, you reinforce the belief that you are capable of attracting and managing abundance successfully. Finally, integration extends beyond financial activities. It includes adopting a lifestyle that reflects abundance in thought, emotion, and behavior. Generosity, gratitude, continuous learning, and conscious engagement with opportunities all reinforce the internal state of wealth consciousness, creating harmony between mind, energy, and action. Over time, this integration transforms your life. You begin to notice that wealth flows more effortlessly. Opportunities align with your intentions and the results of your meditation. Visualization and affirmation practices are mirrored in the tangible outcomes of daily life. Wealth consciousness, when coupled with aligned daily action, becomes a living, breathing part of your reality, enabling you to attract, receive, and create abundance with clarity, confidence, and ease.